Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a Caitanya book compilation given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on November 7th, 2022 in Śrī Māyāpur, India.
Bangun langai te girim Sri Gurum Dhinatarinam Sri Caitanya Ishwaram.
Hari Om Tat Sat.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Today we will continue with the compilation of the Śrī Krishna Caitanya book. Today's chapter is entitled Descent of Lord Caitanya is due to Advaita Acharya and Haridāsa Thakur. Under the section The Glories of Srila Haridāsa Thakur, Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.215.
শ্রী অদ্বৈত আচার্য সহ মিলন। আচার্য মিলিয়া কইলা দণ্ডবত প্রণাম, অদ্বৈত আলিঙ্গন করিলা সম্মান।
Upon meeting Advaita Acharya, Haridāsa Thakur offered him respect and obeisances. Advaita Acharya embraced him and showed respect to him in return.
Any Bharat?
No, Srila Guru Maharaj.
This shows how when two Vaishnavas meet, because Haridāsa Thakur was junior, Advaita Gosai was senior.
So this shows how when two Vaishnavas meet, because Haridāsa Thakur was junior and Advaita Gosai was senior,
Haridāsa Thakur offered his obeisances,
so Haridāsa
showing respect.
Thakur offered his obeisances, showing his respect.
Advaita Acharya embraced him and showed respect in that way.
And Advaita Acharya embraced him and showed him respect in that way. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.216.
আচার্য কর্তৃক ঠাকুরের আনুকূল্য বিধান ও গীতা ভাগবত কীর্তন। গঙ্গা তীরে গোফা করি নির্জনে তারে দিলা, ভাগবত গীতার ভক্তি অর্থ শুনাইলা।
On the bank of the Ganges, in a solitary place, Advaita Acharya made a cave-like home for Haridāsa Thakur and spoke to him about the real meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita in terms of devotional service.
Srila Prabhupada was asked which Gita to recommend.
So Srila Prabhupada was asked which Gita to recommend.
Since there are about 400 Gita in English,
Since there were about 400 Gitas in English,
and actually he could not recommend any Gita fully.
actually he could not recommend any Gita fully.
Some were close,
Some were close,
but generally he couldn't recommend anyone fully
generally he couldn't recommend anyone fully
because they did not maintain the Bhakti Yoga devotional service focus.
because they don't maintain Bhakti Yoga or devotional service focused.
Therefore he wrote the Bhagavad Gita as it is.
Therefore he wrote the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.217.
উভয়ের নিত্য কৃষ্ণ কথা সংলাপ। আচার্যের ঘরে নিত্য ভিক্ষা নির্বাহন, দুইজনা মেলি কৃষ্ণ কথা সাধন।
Haridas Thakur accepted food daily at the house of Advaita Acharya. Meeting together, the two of them would taste the nectar of discourses on the subject matter of Kṛṣṇa.
They would discuss Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam
They would discuss Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam
and discuss the nectar of Lord Kṛṣṇa.
and discuss the nectar of Lord Kṛṣṇa.
In this way, they pass every day.
In this way, they pass every day. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita, Antya Leela 3.218.
হরিদাসের দৈন্য উক্তি। হরিদাস কহে গোসাই করি নিবেদনে, মোরে প্রত্যহ অন্ন দেহ কোন প্রয়োজনে।
Haridas Thakur said, "My dear Advaita Acharya, let me submit something before your honor. Every day you give me alms of food to eat. What is the necessity of this?"
Haridas Thakur, being a mendicant,
Haridas Thakur, being a mendicant,
he would go out and beg alms everywhere.
he can go out and beg alms everywhere.
But Advaita Gosai is feeding him every day.
But Advaita Gosai is feeding him every day.
He's asking about that.
So he is asking about that. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.219.
মহা মহা বিপ্রয়থা কুলীন সমাজ, নিচে আদর কর না বাসহ ভয় লাজ।
Sir, you are living within a society of great brahmanas and aristocrats, but without fear or shame you adore a lower class man like me.
Although Haridas Thakur is a Mahabhagavat,
Although Haridas Thakur is a Mahabhagavat,
he presents himself very humbly.
he presented himself very humbly. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.220.
অলৌকিক আচার তোমার কহিতে নাই পাই ভয়, সেই কৃপা করিবা যাতে তোমার রক্ষা হয়।
My dear sir, your behavior is uncommon. Indeed, sometimes I'm afraid to speak to you, but please favor me by protecting me from the behavior of society. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. While Haridas Thakur was staying under the care of Advaita Acharya, he was afraid of the behavior of the society in Shantipur, Navadvip, which was full of exceedingly aristocratic Brahmanas, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family and was later recognized as a great Vaishnava. But nevertheless, the Brahmanas were very critical of him. Thus, Haridas Thakur was afraid that Advaita Acharya would be put into some difficulty because of his familiarity with Haridas Thakur. Śrī Advaita Acharya treated Haridas Thakur as a most elevated Vaishnavas, but others like Ramachandra Khan were envious of Haridas Thakur. Of course, we have to follow in the footsteps of Advaita Acharya, not caring for people like Ramachandra Khan. At present, many Vaishnavas are coming to our Krishna consciousness movement from among the Europeans and Americans, and although men like Ramachandra Khan are always envious of such Vaishnavas one should follow in the footsteps of Śrī Advaita Acharya by treating all of them as Vaishnavas, although they are not as exalted as Haridāsa Thakur. Such Americans and Europeans, having accepted the principles of Vaishnava philosophy and behavior, should never be excluded from Vaishnava society.
So here, in the Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada is expressing his open-mindedness.
So here His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada is expressing his open-mindedness.
Lord Caitanya has predicted in every town and village of the world, people will be chanting His holy name.
Lord Chaitanya has predicted that in every town and village of the world, people would be chanting His holy names.
By Prabhupada's great vision, this gradually takes place.
So by Prabhupada's great vision, this gradually takes place. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.221.
জগৎগুরু লোকশিক্ষক শ্রী অদ্বৈত আচার্যের নিরপেক্ষ শাস্ত্রসম্মত বাক্য। আচার্য কহেন তুমি না করিহ বয়, সেই আচরিব যেই শাস্ত্র মত হয়।
Advaita Acharya replied, "My dear Haridas, do not be afraid. I shall behave strictly according to the principles of the revealed scriptures." Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Advaita Acharya was not afraid of the strict Brahmanical culture and customs of society, as stated in the Shastric injunctions, which are the true medium of evidence or proof. One can go back to God. Anyone can go back to Godhead even if born of a low family. Kṛṣṇa says in the Bhagavad Gita 9.32, "O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, and Shudras, workers, can attain the supreme destination. Though having taken a low birth in human society, one who accepts Kṛṣṇa as the Supreme Personality of Godhead is quite competent to go back home, back to Godhead. And one who is a bona fide candidate for going back to Godhead should not be considered a low-born person or Chandala." That is also a Shastric injunction, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.18. Not only the Yavanas or Kashadaya, but even those born in still lower families can be purified, Shuddhyanti, by the grace of a devotee of Lord Kṛṣṇa. For Kṛṣṇa empowers such devotees to perform this purification. Advaita Acharya had confidence in the Shastric evidence and did not care about social customs. The Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement, therefore, is a cultural movement that does not care about local social conventions. Following in the footsteps of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu and Advaita Acharya, we can accept a devotee from any part of the world and recognize him as a Brahmana as soon as he is qualified due to following the principles of Vaishnava behavior.
By these verses,
So by these verses,
Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam,
Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam,
we understand that taking shelter of Kṛṣṇa immediately brings one up to the highest standard.
we understand that taking shelter of Kṛṣṇa immediately brings one up to the highest platform.
That they can achieve the complete perfection.
So they can achieve the complete perfection.
They go to the highest destination.
They can go to the highest destination.
So, in this way, we can encourage people to take shelter of Kṛṣṇa.
So in this way we can encourage people to take shelter of Kṛṣṇa.
And that is the real essence of the scriptures.
And that is the real essence of the scriptures. Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.222.
তুমি খাইলে হয় কুটি ব্রাহ্মণ ভোজন, এত বলি সাধ্য পাত্র করাইলা ভোজন।
Haribo! Feeding you is equal to feeding 10 million brahmanas, Advaita Acharya said. Therefore, accept this Shraddha Patra. Thus Advaita Acharya made him eat. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Shraddha is prasadam offered to the forefathers at a certain date of the year or month. The Shraddha Patra or plate offered to the forefathers is then offered to the best of the brahmanas in society. Instead of offering the Shraddha Patra to any other brahmana, Advaita Acharya offered it to Haridāsa Thakur, considering him greater than any of the foremost brahmanas. This act by Sri Advaita Acharya proved that Haridāsa Thakur was always situated in a transcendental position and was therefore always greater than even the most exalted brahmana. For he was situated above the mode of goodness of the material world. Referring to the Bhakti Sandarbha, text 177, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur quotes the following statements from the Garuda Puran in this connection. A brahmana qualified to offer sacrifices is better than any ordinary brahmana, and better than such a brahmana is one who has studied all the Vedic scriptures. Among many such brahmanas, one who is a devotee of Lord Vishnu is the best, and among many such Vaishnavas, one who fully engages in the service of the Lord is the best. There are many different kinds of devotees, but even a Vaishnava coming from a family of Mlechas or Yavanas is understood to be learned scholar, complete in knowledge, if he knows the Vaishnava philosophy. He should therefore give charity, for such a Vaishnava is as worshipable as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Kṛṣṇa says, even if a non-devotee comes from a Brahmana family and is expert in studying the Vedas, he is not very dear to me, whereas even if a sincere devotee comes from a low family of meat eaters, he is very dear to me. Such a sincere, pure devotee should be given charity, for he is as worshipable as I.
So here, a scripture is declaring
So here the scripture is declaring
how a devotee is considered better than a brahmana.
how a devotee is considered better than a brahmana.
Therefore, if someone chants Hare Kṛṣṇa and follows the principles,
If someone chants Hare Krishna and follows the principles,
and studies Bhagavad Gita and other Bhakti Shastras,
and study Bhagavad Gita and other Bhakti Shastras,
he would give them the sacred thread of second initiation.
he would give them the sacred thread and second initiation. Sri Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.223.
শ্রী অদ্বৈত আচার্যের অতুলনীয়া জীবে কৃপা, জগৎ নিস্তার লাগি করেন চিন্তন, অবৈষ্ণব জগৎ কেমনে হইবে মোচন।
Advaita Acharya was always absorbed in thoughts of how to deliver the fallen souls of the entire world. The entire world is full of non-devotees, he thought. How will they be delivered? Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Advaita Acharya sets the standard for Acharyas in the Vaishnava Sampradaya. An Acharya must always be eager to deliver the fallen souls. A person who establishes a temple or matha to take advantage of people's sentiments by using his livelihood for what people contribute for the worship of the deity cannot be called a Goswami or Acharya. One who knows the conclusion of the Shastras, follows in the footsteps of his predecessors, and endeavors to preach the bhakti cult all over the world is to be considered an Acharya. The role of an Acharya is not to earn his livelihood through the income of the temple. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say that if one earns his livelihood by displaying the deity in the temple, he is not an Acharya or Goswami. It would be better for him to accept service even as a sweeper in the street, for that is more honorable means of earning one's living.
We were establishing lotus feet of Lord Caitanya in Radhakunda and Shyamkunda.
So we were establishing the lotus feet of Lord Caitanya in Radhakunda and Shyamkunda.
But because of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's strong preaching,
and because of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's strong preaching,
they didn't want to have us mention his name.
They didn't want us to have us to mention his name.
So he was very much against the professionalism
He was very much against the professionalism
of showing deities and taking money.
showing deities and taking money.
He wanted people to engage in loving devotion, but not ulterior motive.
He wanted people to engage in loving devotion, but not ulterior motive. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 3.224.
আচার্যের কৃষ্ণ আরাধন। কৃষ্ণে অবতারিতে অদ্বৈত প্রতিজ্ঞা করিলা, জল তুলসী দিয়া পূজা করিতে লাগিলা।
Determined to deliver all the fallen souls, Advaita Acharya decided to cause Kṛṣṇa to descend. With this vow, he began to offer Ganges water and tulsi leaves to worship the Lord.
So Advaita saying that since his name meant non-different,
So Advaita is saying that since his name meant non-difference,
he would bring the Lord down. Because only Kṛṣṇa could give out love of Kṛṣṇa.
he was bringing the Lord down because only Kṛṣṇa could give out love of Kṛṣṇa.
And since the people were very materialistically conditioned,
Since the people were very materialistically conditioned,
they require the special mercy of Lord Kṛṣṇa.
they required the special mercy of Lord Kṛṣṇa.
So by Advaita Acharya's prayers,
So by Advaita Acharya's prayers,
Lord Caitanya descended.
Lord Chaitanya descended. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 3.225.
হরিদাসের নাম কীর্তন। হরিদাস করে গুফায় নাম সংকীর্তন, কৃষ্ণ অবতীর্ণ হইবেন এই তার মন।
Similarly, Haridas Thakur chanted in his cave on the bank of the Ganges with the intention of causing Krishna's descent.
Here we see how Brahma Haridāsa,
Here we see how Brahma Haridāsa Thakur,
he was performing his Sankirtan, desiring the Lord to descend.
he was performing his Sankirtan, desiring the Lord to descend. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.226.
উভয়ের আহ্বানে জীব উদ্ধারার্থ কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য অবতার ও নাম প্রেম বিতরণ দ্বারা সর্বজগৎ উদ্ধার। দুইজনের ভক্তে চৈতন্য কইলা অবতার, নাম প্রেম প্রচারী কইলা জগত উদ্ধার।
Because of the devotional service of these two persons, Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu descended as an incarnation. Thus he preached the holy name of the Lord and ecstatic love of Kṛṣṇa to deliver the entire world.
So here we see Advaita Acharya and Haridāsa Thakur, by their strong devotion
So here we see how Haridāsa Thakur and Advaita Acharya, by their strong devotion
and intense desire, brought the Lord Caitanya down into the world as an avatar.
and intense desire brought Lord Chaitanya down to this world as an incarnation avatar.
So, in this way, to deliver the people of the world,
So in this way, to deliver the people of the world,
Lord Caitanya descended
Lord Chaitanya had descended
with his associates.
with his associates. Thus ends the chapter entitled Descent of Lord Chaitanya is due to Advaita Acharya and Haridāsa Thakur.
Haribo! Haribo! Haribo!
Advaita Acharya ki, Brahma Haridāsa Thakur ki, Guru Maharaj ki, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari.
Thank you for watching our videos. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.